My name is Wambui Wamae Kamiru, and I am an installation artist at Kuona. And this is going to be my second installation here at Kuona Trust. The first one was Harambee 63. This is not very different from Harambee 63 because this one is also based on history, which is one of my favorite topics, and particularly Kenyan history and African history. This installation discusses ethnicism and stereotypes and the invention of tradition, and it is based on a key text by Terence Ranger, who recently passed away in January. And Terence Ranger was a very good friend of mine, and so this installation is actually dedicated to him. Terence Ranger was saying that African tradition was invented for Africans by missionaries and colonial administrators. But once I understood what he was saying, and the fact that in order for the colonial administration, for the missionaries to understand the natives, as they called them, they needed to classify them. And they needed to give a description ranging from physical attributes to behavioral characteristics. And in time, those behavioral characteristics are the ones that have shaped what we hold as stereotypes about different ethnic groups. It has been quite an interesting journey because initially my idea had been to use these wonderful boxes that were given to me by Nivi. Painted them in white, had them dry, and it failed. It was a total fail. So now we're in this phase. I got this wonderful cabinet from Nailesh at Odds and Ends, and it reminds me of the old library cataloging system, and it's going to be in black and white because we hold stereotypes to be true without realizing that there's some gray areas in there. In fact, if you look at the whole installation, it's all black and white except particular areas which are gray. It's no coincidence that the installation is called "Your Name Betrays You." And that phrase actually comes from a famous politician. One of the journalists asked a question about his political party, which at the time was CORD, and the politician decided that the journalist was asking this question because of his name. So he actually asked him, "What's your name?" And the journalist said a Kikuyu name. And this politician, who's not Kikuyu, said, "That's why you're asking that question. Your name betrays you." The reason I'm doing this is because it's the elephant in the room. We don't talk about the things that we actually say about other people. We don't question where they come from. When someone says, "Unaruka barabara kama Masai," we don't stop to think about it. I want people to walk into this exhibition and to ask themselves the difficult questions. I want them to ask what their stereotypes are, who fed them those stereotypes, and in what ways they're giving life to those stereotypes. The process of coming up with the exhibition has been quite labor-intensive, and I didn't anticipate how many hands I'd actually need to put it together. It's actually quite a plain room. There are a couple of chairs, there's a bunch of drawers, the ones that were colorful, the ones that were in my studio, and there's cards. But then it's only when you go through each and every item that you realize that everything in this room is in its particular place. The giant chair in the room describes or signifies the structure that has created what we believe to be tradition and culture and the stereotypes that we hold. The giant chair in the room is where we get our conversations from, where it relates to how people should behave, what people should do if they're a particular ethnic group. I'd like to thank Kuona Trust for making it possible through the artist grant. That makes it possible for me to buy the materials. And being an installation is going to be very expensive, and I'd actually like people to consider ways in which they can get into the arts through offering grants.
exhibition, which I trust you've all seen and you may have some questions about. So, karibu sana.
Your
and so, yeah, I'm just curious.
There you go. Your name betrays you. That's it. Thank you. I don't have to say anything more. My name is Wambui Kamiru. My name betrays me.
Which means that it's done its job, right? So it's really now up to you to take time to go back in there and really, really look at this exhibition and inhale it and interact with it and read and understand what the artist was trying to portray.
We would like to wish Wambui an excellent job and best wishes on this exhibit. It's fantastic. I encourage everyone to see it. Anything, Juliana?
We love you. We love your brain, and thank you for challenging us. And we hope other people can come see this exhibit and stop, pause, and think about the stereotypes and where that comes from and how we can change our minds and change the way we relate with each other to be more real and to really connect based on things that are real and not some archaic ideas.
Really love the exhibition because it's provocative and it's a conversation that we're having all over Africa in different ways. The conversation about who defines our identity, do we hold on to it, can we let it go? How much does it construct our reality?
I think I found it interesting because I'm Awur Onyango, and that's like everyone already knows where you're from once you just say that. So, but it's also really interesting for me because sometimes I'm confused for Nigerian.
Really well thought out. I really enjoyed that Wambui has thought through her process. So for me, this was a big success. From the way that she used the space in the exhibition hall, from the way that she actually presented the work, and the interaction that it brought about with the various people in the audience.